Alright,
What up, gamers?
let's get into this. So we're pretty much just going to be going over all of the characters and just quickly giving our thoughts about, like whether they're fine, they don't need any changes, whether they need, like an adjustment that's not really a buff or a nerf, just, changing how they work a little bit. And then there's obviously, the other tiers, Mega Nerf, which is self-explanatory, and Nerf. And then if they need a buff, then they'll be in the buff tier. And sometimes buffing the character may not be buffing them directly, but also buffing the spells that they use. And Nerf is also the same case. We might
Same
say
kind
we
of
were
thing.
nerfing a character, but we're not really nerfing them directly. It's just nerfing the spells. And then after this, we'll go over. We're not gonna go over all the spells.
Just the ones that are problems or worth talking about.
Yeah, just the ones that we want to talk about, and that will pretty much be it. So let's start off. We're just gonna go in order here. So let's start off with Coretta. So I've seen plenty of complaints about the character.
Brazil. Let's
Yeah,
be
Brazil does
real.
not
It's
like Coretta
Brazil.
apparently, at least from what I've seen. Um, Although I think we're both kind of like in the same mindset. Like Coretta is definitely a bit of an overrated character, I believe. I don't think that she is quite that strong to warrants a direct nerf to her kit.
I think if anything, she's kind of underwhelming in the current meta. Um, I know the top Japanese players all agree. I saw them on Twitter talking about how Brazil overrates the character. They talked in Discord about how the character's overrated.
Cause like,
I
dude, like I've played against your Coretta a lot, and it's just like once you know what a wrecking ball does to this character, you never go
I think
back.
the Wrecking Ball nerf hurt. The Wrecking
Even
Ball
wrecking
nerf
ball is also
hurt
just
her.
good against her as well. And
Yeah, the con in this tile denial meta, where tile denial is so strong because all the damage output's very high, which will be talked about. But because of that, tile denial and defense like that is super important. And unlike the rest of the characters that are good against that kind of stuff, like Brilla can step, Orisa can step and pull you around it, Shredder just has to hold that. You just die.
yeah,
You
like
just lose the ability to convert into anything.
Coretta's in that category where Coretta's a character that needs to touch front in order to really be able to do her thing. And when you have obviously with Perilla being, as strong as she is right now, it definitely makes it a bit difficult to play Coretta because the matchup's bad, and then Coretta also tends to struggle against the characters that make it difficult for her to box.
Hmm.
Because if she can't box her opponent, she's not going to be able to hold the front to get that W2 off and to get her damage going, and she's kind of just going to get like messed up. Like, dude, Harissa is still such
That
a
matchup sucks.
laughably
I hate
bad
that,
matchup. It's so
especially
bad.
the way Shoal plays it, because I think Chiretta's other not talked about weakness is good shield play. You can block all of her starters
Oh yeah,
and get out of basically everything she wants to do. Um, and Shoal runs Harissa with Entrench, so it's like you literally never get the chance to get an opening. You're
yeah.
either
And the
getting
thing is,
smacked in the
like,
face, or they just shield in row two.
you don't have to do that. Like, I remember when I was like fighting, I was like freaking using Harissa against your chi. Like, I literally just like
You just
just
mashed
bullied you with
weapon one,
primer.
and I just died. It's just like, what do I do? You
I'm
stand
just
in row
like,
two.
you're never
You
gonna
get
touch
tired.
front because like my weapon's faster than yours, man.
Your weapons. Anyways, Trina's weaknesses are so unbelievably overwhelming to her. I don't think she needs straight buffed because she's not like a bad character. I think she's just niche right now. Um, there are plenty of matchups she's playable in, but there's her bad matchups are unplayable. I think giving her more resources in terms of cards would be nice. I don't have any specific recommendations for how to change her, but she needs something to deal better with people camping top row and just spamming tile denial or front row denial because she literally can't do anything about them. I'd say adjust.
Adjust. All right, I think that's good because like I don't think she's quite
Definitely not
strong
nerf.
enough
I think
to
if she gets
warrant.
nerfed,
It's like I cannot like I don't even know like what would you do to nerf Coretta again? Like, bro, W2 is already like freaking so
It's
slow,
like, hey,
man.
so you have to hit this one specific tile in like a night shape away from you and hit confirm off it in time. Um, and hope you have something to properly convert off 3 away. And
So
then there are characters running around with 15 years to hit confirm off their stuff because they. Yeah.
so yeah, definitely probably maybe a good change for Coretta is to probably I'd say tackle the issue with damage because that's just a overall game
Hmm.
issue right now, and then maybe give her a little something to help not
Account
get
for that.
absolutely destroyed by not being able to touch the front in certain matchups.
Yeah. Like, I agree. She does a lot of damage, probably too much. But the issue is her neutral sucks in a lot of matchups. So I think we hit the damage universally, which again we'll tackle later. Um, and then give her a little something to account for that to help her get back on her feet after the damage nerf.
All right, so let's move on now to Dreadworm.
I want to
Um,
hear your opinions first, of course, because you are the resident Dread Goat.
well, I'm not the only Dread Goat. You know, Glitch deserves credit, but
You're the Dread. Anyway,
um,
um,
but for Dread, I know people like some people's just like, oh, Dread's fine. I think Dread is not really fine, at least when it comes to like top level. Like I would probably never solo run Dread in like a stack tournament. It's just not gonna end well. Like
what do you think her weaknesses are? Because I'm of the opinion Dread's actually pretty underrated, but I haven't played her in a wide variety of matchups. I've been working on Dread recently. I've been playing a very similar version of Break Dread to you. It might just straight be your deck, actually.
so
um,
like here's the thing is that so Dreadworm, I am not in the mindset like I do not think that Dreadworm is bad, but a lot of like kind of Dreadworm's strategies that have been working pretty well at top level have gotten like hit like pretty
or
much
power
all of
crept
them.
out, I guess.
Yeah, and then there's talks about people are still trying to get auto slash hit, and that would
Auto is
obviously
fine.
majorly affect the Dreadworm in
Auto
terms of her
an
more
auto
combo
nerf would
strategies.
literally just kill her. It
Well,
would gut her damage output. She'd be dead.
it would probably really hurt the combo variant of her because at least like the break variant doesn't really play that. Um, but just like I think the strongest strategy that Dreadworm had was definitely the shield break setups,
Hmm.
and losing that definitely hurt quite a bit because that was kind of like
With the
the
root
one strategy
nerfs.
that kind of really worked across like a very large variety of matchups, and that's kind of the issue with Dread is like Dread, there are just matchups you're not gonna win, just straight
What
up.
matchups do you think those are? Just out of curiosity.
Dread is probably like she is very bad into structure heavy characters
I guess that makes sense.
because it's like the Hazel matchup is still absolutely miserable because neither of both your weapons are slow, so you can't remove blocks quickly, and they don't pierce either. So you kind of just get walled out playing like a lot of Dread strategies.
And then you can't get your set play going, so you just have to raw hit your. That makes sense.
Yeah, because you can't like so any situation where her weapons are just kind of just getting blocked by structures and she can't really get her set play going because she needs her weapons to set up things, and to kind of just zone and neutral. And when she can't do that, she can't really do much, and that's kind of just been an issue like forever that I've talked about is that this character is just kind of really difficult to play into specific matchups because of that. And then just due to the fact that I think a lot of her like best performing strategies have already been hit, and then honestly like
Mm.
the hits weren't even really all that like justifiable either.
No,
Um,
no,
but
no,
yeah, that's why I'm
definitely
just
not.
like I think her kit is fine. I don't really think her kit needs to be touched. She's a case where it's just like I want her spells buffed so
That's very
that
fair.
she can have strategies that are a bit more that have a bit of a better matchup spread.
My thoughts on her right now. Um, I think she's overall pretty fine. I've never personally ran into that issue with her because I haven't played her enough. I have been working on a dread because I did like old Shiso, and she has a very similar base concept to him with the shield weapon 2 stuff. I've been playing the Break Dread deck I sent you, which I'm pretty sure is just a direct rip of one of your variants. But I haven't played her against anyone like super top level yet, so I don't have that kind of experience. But I've fought her a lot. I don't like the keep away style of gameplay she can do, where she just kind of runs away and spams off angles and weapon 2 shield. I don't even think it's overly effective. I think the kind of gameplay it promotes though is very, very lame and slow.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Dread is a slow playing character. I will definitely say that.
and I'm fine with it being slow if it felt a little more interactive. Because there are a lot of scenarios where it doesn't feel like there's reasonable openings, and you have to guess 3 times in a row right. But she's just chipping you down and not actually progressing the game state. So it feels very lame, like a whole lot of nothing. She can do a lot. I don't know how to even change that, but I don't like the current state of the character in that regard. And if she's also running into issues with structures, there might be something we could do, maybe some trade offs.
Dude, literally,
But I'd much rather see buffs than nerfs on her.
all they need to do is buff root and revert will to 8 damage, and this character will literally jump like
Real. That would
a
make
whole
her
tier.
approach too. That would make her more incentivized to actually engage.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like Entangle, the Entangle World Strat on Dripline,
Hmm.
you actually do engage, but now I have to
Yeah.
stall games because I don't have
Yeah, no,
damage.
that's the issue. She's incentivized to stall because of her weaknesses.
So,
Um, yeah, I'm fine. I'd say buff or adjust, whichever you prefer.
but yeah, I put in buff, but not
That's
directly.
fair.
Uh,
Buffers,
Dreadworm is
because
a
I think her
spell buff
weapons are
case.
pretty strong.
Yeah, her weapons are fine. It's just
But
she
yeah.
just needs her spells a bit stronger. All right, let's move on to Gunner.
What do you think of? So Gunner's a weird one. I've used Gunner as a counter pick frequently. In a lot of scenarios. I used him back in Exodus 1, for example, and I've even tried him against Harissa Perilla type characters. I think he probably is one of the characters in Basecast that does the best against the DLC trio um, of Perilla, Harissa, and Terrible. I think Terrible, he's pretty good at just outmashing her given her frame data. Versus Harissa and Perilla, he doesn't need to get up in their face, and he has a free disengage button. I think he's a really strong character, really underrated, just not the easiest to play. Um, I don't think he needs changes necessary, or I don't think he needs nerfed because I think he's doing a good thing of combating them, and I don't think he has any crippling weaknesses. And his strengths are pretty good. I think he's in a pretty good spot where I probably just wouldn't change him. I'd leave him as is. If anything, I'd make an adjustment to weapon 2 because I think it's pretty lame how it's just a free disengage. But yeah,
All right, so my thoughts for Gunner. I think Gunner is honestly in probably just a pretty good spot. I don't really think that Gunner needs any adjustments. I've heard some
totally agree.
the pretty much the only like complaints I think I've seen revolving around Gunner is just Gunner players just having a bit of trouble with deck building. So if there is anything, then it would just be like I don't know, like maybe you know buffing some of the fire synergy cards that Gunner might use or
That's fair.
something like that.
Give him a little more variety. I
But
don't think we need to buff his current effective strategies. I think that would be a huge mistake.
But yeah, that's just that. But that's not really something that like needs to happen. Just like if you make a change to
Hmm.
Gunner, just like I probably go for that. But I think Gunner is kind of just fine where he is. We can probably just leave him off.
I'm fully down for that. I'm very content with Gunner as is. I think he's a little bit lame, but I think most characters are. Okay, so Mega Nerf tier. Anyways, what's up? Who's next?
All right, so we're gonna be moving on to Harissa. Um,
Huh.
so I guess I'll voice my thoughts first. So I don't think she's
Go for it.
quite. Well, here's the thing. Like I guess she would be in Mega Nerf because the thing is like I
There
wouldn't
is a
mega nerf
bigger
her kit.
problem.
Like Carissa's kit wouldn't get mega nerfed, but it's just that some of the spells that she's running are gonna get hit anyway.
Yeah, that's
And then
fair.
that collectively might add up to a fairly big nerf. Or it might not. Who knows? Because this character is also pretty flexible build wise. So
Incredibly so, yes.
I think it would probably total up to like probably just a nerf. Um,
That's fair.
as to what's gonna happen, because obviously we'll go over the spells later, but obviously some of the spells this character is currently playing, I would be very very shocked if they did not get hit. um,
Yeah, given all the
Considering the state
complaints.
of the game right now. But
So
I would
this is
like
yeah, go
a
for it.
I would like just a small change. Like if Harissa is getting a hit, I Primer really should get a small
Please,
change.
please,
Like
please.
Primer really needs to get nerfed, dude. Like Primer like is it just makes melee characters have just a miserable time just trying to fight this character because they just get bullied out of the front, but they need the front, so they just
Mhm.
die.
And there's nothing stopping her from just pressing it on repeat. She's getting it out 2 times a second, like because she's just mashing it. She gets to mash it for free. Increase the cooldown by like 15 frames or something. I say keep the actual frame data on it the same, because it does keep her identity in that regard. But increase the cooldown so it's a weaker neutral tool. Because right now, there are a lot of situations. I've fought Shoal a ton lately. There are so many situations where he will press it 3 times in a row up front. And it's just like, I can't do anything about this. I just have to hold that.
Yeah, you just
It's
gotta
just
walk
a
away.
giant broken Mega Plus hitbox that he's got his God tier hit confirms off of because he's Shoal. But if I get tagged by it a single time, I'm getting blown up. Which brings us to the other problem with her
Oh,
damage output.
damage. The
She's got
damage output, dude.
she's got two super top level decks. The Yuki Shizuku deck, Yuki's deck, he's top two in Japan with it, and Shoal is very dominant over here, very strong outside of Japan. The character's got two different decks at top level, which you can't really say to that level of relevance about almost anyone else. She's super flexible, but I don't want her to lose that identity. I think hitting K Wave, which we can talk about later, and the rest of her big combo cards is a good step. Um, I think just nerfing the cooldown on Primer is all we need to do directly to her kit if we don't want to change her identity too hard. Maybe increasing the airtime on Weapon 2. Um, because those missiles are stupid. Um, they're just way too plus. But if you increase the airtime and give you a little more time to react, I think they'd be fine. But I think primer spamming, just bullying, as you said, bullying every other character out of the front row, um, is the biggest issue. And hitting the spells that are problematic will kind of do the rest to keep her in check.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, just for me to get my thoughts out. So, um, but yeah, Primer is. I think there's two ways I could see the nerf. Primer is literally just like you suggested, just a cooldown nerf to make it so that Primer is not so suffocating up close. And uh, or you could probably hit the frame data, but obviously you know, that would cause her to lose probably some confirms, which
The issue, yeah,
so just depending where she keeps the pressure, but then she loses confirms, or she loses pressure, but then she keeps the confirms.
I
So it's
don't
just a trade off.
I don't think we can hit the recovery on it. Without completely gutting the character's identity that's been caved out for her. Because there are so many of her combos and routes that are basically frame tight. You basically have to buffer the whole thing, or it's not going to be true. Um, which means, like, I think again, if we hit the cards and hit the cooldown, we don't need to worry about that part of her boxing, and I'm fine having her having combos. I think if anything, we hit the startup or the cooldown. The recovery, I think we have to keep. I want it to be just as plus it is as it is because it is the character's identity.
All right, but that sounds good. That sounds pretty good. Good suggestions. All right, but let's move on now to Hazel. So I think Hazel is probably, honestly, I think she's kind of just fine.
Yep,
Um,
I fully agree.
the only thing that I would alter about her is just turrets spawning in when you break the block, and then it spawns in and shoots you in the face. That's like the only thing that's kind of just like, it's just like, why is it like
Yeah,
that?
I think if we make turrets first shot come out at a delay, that is the only change I would ask for.
Yeah, that is like literally it. That is like the only change I've pretty much ever wanted to this character, is just for
Because right
turrets
now
to
she
not
can kind of
shoot you
just
immediately.
set up turret, and you don't have time to do anything about it. The first shot's instant. I think giving you a little time to like walk over and stop it, because it's a 5 health projectile or 5 health structure. That's a lot of health. You can't just one tap it, but if
But
you can just get in and do some sort of interference in time, that would be great.
yeah, so like there's currently like if you shoot a turret right now, it kind of like the turret like pauses for a little bit. I think that should happen when it spawns in, so that the
Fully agree.
yeah, that should just happen when it spawns in, so that you have a little bit of time to react to the turret spawning in, and then not getting shot in the face when you broke the
Just try,
block, but then it just spawns in and shoots you.
because the issue is right now you want to interact, but you can't because the turret's about to spawn. So it encourages uninteractive play because you have to just respect the insta shot of the turret instead of cool mind games around it and her trying to hit you for punishing it. It just shoots you. So I think that small change would make her a lot more interactive in a lot of situations, and kind of fix all my issues with her.
But yeah, I'll just throw her in just for
Yeah,
that.
that's
That's
more of an
literally it.
adjust.
That's literally it. Like, don't this character doesn't need I think she's already pretty strong, but not too strong. She doesn't need any nerfs or anything like that. Um so I think Hazel's pretty much in a good spot. If she gets any changes, I think it should just be that minor adjustment to turrets to just make them less
Fully agree.
annoying to try and destroy or counterplay, and that is like literally it. All right,
Hmm.
Maple.
So I've been shown a couple clips,
Yeah, me too.
and so I think at minimum we need to adjust because like that's not okay.
Yeah, that can't be a thing.
Like honestly, like I don't know though, because like when you've been around, we've both been in the community a while since way pre-release. I've been around since the October beta, and I know you've been around before that. Has there ever been a state where Maple Seed has a long term been an okay move?
It's just been like it's
I
been
feel
hard
like
to
something
balance
always gets
because
discovered.
like I remember the last time that maple loops were a problem. I actually was I probably am
10A.
why I got patched out of the game, because I was freaking playing games
Oh,
with Papa Gurgle, and then I was just looping him repeatedly, and I would just reapply the seed, and then every like I pretty much just had permanent advantage state.
do you remember the test patch where Frost was turbo buffed and lasted super long
Oh
for the
yeah,
hit stun?
yeah.
And that patch happened at the same time as a Maple Seed buff. And she had taunt combos where she could spam taunt mid combo and just do 70, 80 damage to you.
So yeah,
It's the worst thing. But yeah, basically she's doing that again, but
yeah, just adjust seed
killing you
toss
from
so that it
full.
doesn't do that, and then the character is fine. The character doesn't need nerfs. I
I
don't want Maple nerfed. I just want seed
I think she
toss,
needs
not infinite
buff.
you.
I think we need to fix Seed and then give her some help because like this character has very long term been shown to be a weak character. Um, I think she can't deal with the other boxers to save her life, and she's a boxer, so her matchup spread just looks like trash.
Oh yeah.
Because like, can you really see her trying to scrap with Harissa?
No.
No, like
Bro, no melee boxers can scrap with Harissa, dude. They just lose.
yeah, no, pretty much. They need to I don't even know what to change about her. I think her kit is so fundamentally flawed in terms of like strength that like I don't even have a suggestion, but she needs fixed. She needs help.
So yeah, so fix the seed toss stuff. Don't nerf seed toss if possible. Just make it not infinite. Like I don't know, like
Make it
make
not
it so
do
that you
that.
can't reply the rap like so fast or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that you can't just keep people wrapped permanently. With
You-
the correct combo. Like
What would
that
be
that just needs
cool?
to go and then like some buffs.
What would be cool is you could like buff some aspect of seed, but make it so you can only get wrapped once per combo. Because now we have an in-game combo counter that checks when you're out of hits done. If we can just do it so that you can only get wrapped once per combo, I'd be fine. Do that, and that can give you justification to give her buffs.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's move on to Nira. So, I think
Oh.
my opinion on Nira, I honestly think Nira is probably like balance wise fine. Just no one likes fighting Nira at all.
Yeah, she's just degenerate, like
She's
super
just not fun to
degenerate.
fight, but like she's not actually like a balance issue. I think she's kind of just fine.
I think she's a very solid character. Nothing crazy. She's definitely not weak, but she's not overly strong. I think she's like a solid mid-ish tier. But why would anyone in their right mind choose to play games against an era player?
But yeah, it's just a matter of, like this character's fine. She's just annoying. Like I think there was like a player vote thing. I think Rooney did the player vote, and I think
Mm-hmm.
like Nira had like let me see if I can go check. I think she had
Um,
like a very low rating on the enjoyment.
well, the issue is she just mashes weapon two. I think if you make it so weapon two spawns as like just make it so if you hit her and their projectiles for weapon two are still in the air, they don't spawn in. That's all you need. I'd be totally chill.
Okay, no, actually, her enjoyment it's low, but it's not like terrible. It was the rating that she got rated like I think really low was gameplay design.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
gameplay and design rating was pretty low, which I hope I'm reading that chart right because the colors are everywhere. So like if I'm being dumb, I'm sorry, but I hope I read that. I'm assuming that means that her gameplay and design is not well received, but but
Yeah,
otherwise she's fine. She's just not fun, and that's
I'd
pretty
go
much
for
it.
adjust. Because I think it's pretty universally agreed she's not fun to fight.
So you say adjust
But
just to
we
make
don't
her
need
like
balance changes.
less annoying.
Adjust for like, yeah, make her less annoying. Again, I think if you fix the spike trap thing, where they just keep going even if you hit her, just make it so they don't spawn in if you hit her before they land, and it's fine. So you won't get like counter hit 15 times trying to engage with her.
All right, let's move on.
Do we have to?
Oh boy. We already know where this
So
character's going.
yes, we've discussed it enough. Our opinions on this are well known.
Well, I still want to
Um,
get it in the video.
I
Just
agree. I
like Dev is
agree.
watching. I just want him
I
to
more
hear it.
so mean we know exactly
So
what tier she's going in.
I'll go first. I'll rant first, and then you rant after me.
Okay.
All right, but why? Like, oh my god, why she do all that? Like, holy smokes, this character has just free invade, because the web refunds it, and then you just put down the web for free. You get invade and a trap at the same time, and then you get to refund your invade by picking up the trap and then setting the trap again. And it's like, and then the web allows her to just completely disrespect any character that ever wants to touch front in this game. It's just like, screw you. You don't get to do what you want. Like, you just like oh my god. It is
It's
like I literally when I'm playing terrible, dude, and I'm playing my combo deck, I cannot play it into this
no, that's
matchup because I need
unplayable. You
front and
can't
I
you
can
can't do
never have
anything.
front. I can never have it ever. And then she hits harder than me.
She hits harder than like everyone.
Well, yeah, and it's just like, bro, why? And then it's just like the salts and the freaking wound right here is the fact that like Celicy has Fair Frozen. You know what Fair Frozen does? It dashes 3 tiles, it hits, and it comes back. Perilla Pounce dashes less distance, so it's safer. It's
Yes.
faster. It sets a freaking trap, and then it refunds. Like,
Yup.
Pounce is
Yup.
better than some of the characters in this game.
So also, just for more salt in the wound, Fair Frozen does 2 damage on contact. Gorilla Pounce does 3.
Yeah, and like just more salt, just like just it does more damage than Fair Frozen. It's just
Which
like, and
is
it's just better in every possible way. And Fair Frozen is already a strong weapon, but it's just like
yeah.
Pounce is just Fair Frozen, like just on steroids and like a boatload of caffeine, dude. Like it's insane. It
It
just why does it do all
it's
that?
it's probably in my time playing Duelists the strongest weapon the game has ever seen.
Like it's actually just absurd. And then Snatch, full screen, hit scan into you dying.
I hate that move. Okay,
Oh my
so
lord.
I just need to say, literally everyone on main chord, I gotta rant for a sec. Everyone who says that you can just spam vertical hit step and it invalidates a character, fight me. Do it. Beat me. I'm begging you. It like everyone I fought that says that just loses because it doesn't. That's not what it does. You can try to vertical hit step, but you're gonna get tagged eventually.
Yep, and you only need
If,
to get
if I
tagged
call out
like
your move,
twice.
you get tagged twice and it's over. And I get
It's
to
over.
fish for it. You're not gonna just punish it. You're gonna run from it, and I just get to fish again
Yeah,
while
like
spamming setup with web in the front row, so you can't ever engage.
that's the thing. It's just like you just prevent engagement with web, and then it's
You
impossible
fish for 15
to camp this
years.
character because her invade is just nonstop because she can do it forever. And then, not to mention that she still hits the back column, right? Because she can
Hmm.
still just step out of her invade to cover the back. And then she could do that with spells like Apprehend. And it's like, it is disgusting trying to. Like, I see Apprehend in Perilla's hand, and I'm just. The fear of God is in me because I know
You
if I
you
get
you
hit,
you got to
I'm about
give
to
up at
eat
that
like
point.
50 damage, but I can't sit back because I cannot predict when Apprehend is gonna come out, which she can just spam invade infinitely, and I can't guess when it's gonna come out, and I can't punish it. Or if I step up to try and avoid the invade, then she's just gonna hit me with Apprehend anyway, and I'm just gonna die. I'm gonna die, and
One of my favorite hands with her at this point has to be Apprehend Northwind. Because like if you ever press a button against that, she's gonna combo you, and you have to somehow dodge all that. I despise this character with a passion.
yeah, she's
I've been
just
spamming her as much as possible, just to kind of make people hate her until she gets nerfed. Because I despise this character.
yeah, it's just
Weapon one's evil.
she's so like she's unfair on so many
Hmm.
different levels. Like she's the hardest hitting character in the game. She's the most consistently hard hitting character in the game. She hits for 40
Hmm.
to 50 damage regularly. I'm not
Has the
ex-
best defense in the game.
This is not exaggeration. It's on video.
Watch any VOD I've uploaded. She
Literally.
just hits that way.
Again, and then this is against everyone.
This is
Counterplay
against
doesn't
the best
work.
players in the world.
The
Like,
counterplay doesn't work. You cannot. Every counterplay attempt that I have seen at top level to deal with Perilla didn't work. At best, you go even, and then they
that's
adapt and you
best case
lose.
scenario. Hmm. That is best case scenario. You go even for a session before she adapts back. That is best case scenario.
And then you get washed again, and it's
Yeah,
just like
it's
it's
just a
like
constant trying to out adapt in an arms race, but they get like alien technology help. Like it's you. There's nothing you can do.
yeah, but like
What?
oh my lord, like this is the first character like that I think just like bro, like if I
Yeah.
had an event, dude, she would not be allowed. She is
No,
just
no, I wouldn't want her legal at anything I host.
she is just so she's actually that broken, dude. Like she really needs
Well,
to. Oh, I guess we need to go over the suggested nerfs. So my suggested nerfs were a cut them on a regen. Why? She don't need it. It's our Pounce is already better than Fair Frozen, which is a really good weapon with just the fact that it's a shorter invade and it places a freaking trap. It doesn't need to have mana regen on top of that. That is just like completely unnecessary and allows her to do something she really shouldn't be doing. And then
The
my second
full
nerf,
refund is probably the most egregious part.
yeah,
It's it's not even like a half refund. It's just fully. It's just gives you everything back.
yeah. And then my second nerf is, so my second nerf would target Snatch, and my suggestion was to make Snatch not full screen. I think that probably 4 is enough because this character can already control
I would
front
agree.
perfectly fine. She has the tools that she needs to contest front. So why does she need full screen hit scan? Like she doesn't need
Like
it. Like
she's usually not comboing out of the full screen, but it's such a stupid harass tool. If they're trying to get someone like if they're trying to set up for something like scaling, like mana pod or something, you just pull them out of it from back row,
but yeah,
8 tiles away, unreactable.
she still keeps she still keeps the same combo potential with Snatch. It's just not full screen. Like now she has to play up front in order to land Snatch, which is going to make her easier to deal with because at least I know that she's gonna have to be up there. And I can
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's gonna open up more routes to counterplay. Whereas right now she could just be anywhere, step up for a little bit, and then just kill you.
hmm I
It's oh my
so
lord.
I think my least favorite part is that everyone says, "Oh, well, this actually hard answers her. This hard counters her." No, it doesn't. I do you know how many times I've been told that structures hard counter her?
No, they don't.
She's like, other than terrible, she is probably the best anti-structure character in the game.
She's invade. Like I don't know why people would think that. Like
She's invade.
she's gonna hop over your side of the field and she's gonna suck you up with apprehension.
She's the only character in the game that can not spend mana, that can go mana like positive against so many different structures. Like set piece, for example, if you're using Queen, I eat your piece and don't spend mana doing it. So you spend 1 mana to set your stuff up and you step to front row to Perilla to try to get your defense going. And I literally weapon one it. I destroy it instantly in one hit because it does 3 damage for some reason, even Rook. And then I place a web and I eat the web and get all the mana back. This works against Hazel's blocks. This works against Beam Crystal. This you can chip down Bomb. You can do it to Amp. And every single one of those, even Bomb, which just explodes on death, you can go up, weapon one it, and then step out of the way before you get hit. So there's literally no risk to her removing structures. She's got the best structure removal in the game, other than maybe terrible. The character has 0 weaknesses, regardless of what people are saying, because it like they can say it all they want, but it's not working when they try it. So the character's literally got no weaknesses. Super turbo broken. Just gut her. I'm all down for at least having the mana regen on web, maybe removing the hit stun and just adding root. um she web's just stupid right now. It's the biggest counter to auto slash in the game. Because if you're holding auto slash, it's a I'm going to step in front of Perilla, and if she weapon ones or stands near web, I'm just dying.
Yeah, it's
The character just needs killed. Also, the weapon to shield interaction, please fix that. Make it like so you don't get block stringed into double team for free. For people who aren't aware, which I'm sure most people are, you can drop shield quicker and act out of it quicker if your shield takes damage while you're shielding. Since weapon 2 doesn't deal damage, you don't get that applied to you, so she can block string you out of it if you shield it, which is just another egregious thing. Wins
yes.
every matchup in the game. Just gut the character.
It's just oh my lord. But all right, let's move on now. But I
Yeah,
think we said enough. But oh my,
Queen. Okay, Queen, a character both of us have played a ton of and both of us love. I think.
oh yes, Queen.
At least
Yeah.
I love the character. I think you. Oh, I'm like 1 session away from Neon. Wow, I just noticed that. Yeah, I'll let you go first as the person who basically invented the character's meta.
All right. So for Queen, I know people are gonna hate this, but I actually think that I kind of want to see her spells buffed a bit because
Real.
I think that she's had like Queen spells have been hit like a lot over the
Which
period of the
spells in
game.
specific are you referring to?
So probably the biggest. So auto nerf was I like. Here's the thing. I think people don't understand how the spell nerfs affected the character. The auto nerf was really big because it removed full column execute into auto slash, which is a very big deal because
Mm-hmm.
now against characters like Maple, I have to box Maple in Maple's range, which results in me losing in boxing. Um, and then even now, executing the auto slash at any point is gap zero. It is extremely tight. It is gap zero. If auto slash
Yeah.
is nerfed again, that's probably just gone. Just straight up. So the auto slash nerf definitely hurt quite a bit. And then another nerf that hurt a lot was actually missiles. Mistletoe going from
Yeah,
3 to
yeah.
2. Because like here's the
Mistletoe
thing with
getting
missiles is that
removed from the game.
yeah, like the thing with the missiles nerf is that missiles is actually like kind of one of the best ways to follow up off of a chess piece snipe. So that you could snipe into missiles and then get something off that. But with
Mhm.
missiles going from 3 to 2, it actually pretty much like it kind of killed a lot of that. Now it's pretty difficult in order to get any kind of a follow up off of a chess piece snipe. Like you're gonna just have to be in like a really convenient position usually. But missiles just made it a lot easier to get confirms off of, and then now missiles kind of sucks. I've
It's
tried
just
playing
bad.
missiles. It just ain't it, man. Um,
You know the crazy thing? Release players don't even know about it.
oh yeah, they don't know about stem missiles. Which honestly, comparing stem missiles to what's now, dude.
Step missile, bring me back so I don't have to deal with this.
um,
Like
yeah.
before step auto was the big thing, it was step missiles. So it would be step slash and a mistletoe. And mistletoe fired 3 shots instead of 2, so it was pretty plus. So you'd go step slash mistletoe, which would be 3 mana instead of the 2 that people are saying from step auto. And you're not positioned for it. You have to go back, position, move, and get into your position for the combo. It was honestly fine, but it got complained about. But
Yeah.
anyways, we're not pre-release anymore. Just for the context of it.
And then there was obviously like the crystal rifle nerf, and obviously that hurt Frost quite a bit. So just like all the big queen strats have just been like majorly hit, because step
Yeah.
missiles leaving like really hurt the consistency of Gunner X's damage, and then
Yes.
auto slash also hurt Gunner X quite a bit, and then um, with the snowfall, obviously the frost nerfs
Mm-hmm.
to crystal rifle hurt quite a bit, and the character does not. This character is probably never gonna directly get buffed, so I just think that some of the spells that she likes using, like it'd be great if missiles could probably get buffed again, so that Queen so I could start slotting in it again, or I don't know, you could buff some of the other niche Queen spells to make them not niche, like Flamberg is something that I've tried to mess with in
Oh,
the past, but it's
you counterpicked me and beat me with it in ESL during
yeah,
my when I counterpicked your queen with my own anti-structure. It was so fun. I miss when that was what the meta was like
but yeah,
instead of
so
this abomination.
uh, I just want her spells buffed, but that's about it. Anyway, what are your thoughts?
So I've played a bunch of queen myself as well. Big queen fan, very fun. I think all the nerfs too. I think she's just not as strong as people think. If I'm being real, most characters can box effectively from distance to the strong boxing characters. They don't need to be point blank to box. Queen can't do anything there. Um, so like Harissa, for example, like I just get bullied out of front row. I can't outbox her because I can't reach her. I can't do anything against Perilla because she just eats set piece. I can't get anything set up, and I can't be front row to box with her. Um, it's just not fun. I She also doesn't do enough damage
Oh wait,
to keep
Queen's
up with
probably
this
the.
meta.
I'm not gonna lie, Queen probably is like the
Lowest damage
lowest
output.
damage output character in the game. I don't really think that
Um,
there's maybe Rava's lower. No, I think Rava might be lower.
yeah, Reva is. Other than her,
Like, but she is pretty bottom of the barrel in terms of damage, which her neutral is good. You know, that's the trade off. But
it's not.
damage is a
It's
little
not.
bit too
It's
low
not good
right
enough
now.
to account for it.
Yeah, damage is a
Well,
little too low.
and just given how fast so many of these decks kill you, Snowfall getting hit, like it just can't keep up in damage output anymore. Anytime I fight that deck using like Perla or Terrible, I just feel bad. It feels like I'm kicking a puppy. It like, and I feel like all of her cool stuff keeps getting hit. Like again, the full screen, all the mistletoe stuff, full screen auto. I don't know why Punch Cannon got changed like that. I had a super fun and super cool Punch Cannon Queen deck, but with that Punch Cannon change, it just doesn't work anymore. Um,
Yeah,
I want to see a bunch of changes and support. I want to see structure support so that set piece, like the piece itself, is more relevant. I'd be totally fine, like, because a lot of people complain about Queen, think she's overpowered, think she needs nerfs, think she's stupid. Um, I could see increasing the cooldown on set piece if you give her a bunch of support to make up for it. Um, make it so that she has to box more with her spells than just her weapons, because she does have execute. Execute's a great boxing option point blank. You can still chase people away if you have weapons to support, and making it so that like once getting a set piece down feels more rewarding. Maybe bring all pieces up to 3 again, but increase the cooldown on set piece. So if you just break it, they don't place it back in a quarter of a second. I think that would be interesting to see.
all right, sounds good. So,
I'd put her in adjust slash
adjust,
buff.
adjust slash. I don't have a tier for that. We gotta pick.
New buff.
All
I'd
right.
straight buff her. I'm fine with that. I think everyone complaining about her just needs to stop coping. Like there is way bigger problems.
All right, let's go to Rava. So,
Um,
I mean, in my Rava, in my opinion, she sucks. In my opinion, she's bad.
so I did play her recently more because I thought she might be decent, and now I agree she sucks, but I still think she's so lame.
Well, she's just got nothing to work with. Like none of her kits interesting currently.
No, she's literally just, hey, I'm gonna press weapon two at you, and you're not gonna interact with it unless you have a specific tool. And I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna sit here. I can't combo to save my life. I don't have any neutral, but I'm gonna like stall the game, and that's all she does.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make a new tier, dude. Like she needs a mega buff, dude. Like,
I think she low key needs a rework.
like she is so bad right now. Like
I
I
don't
I
know
need
if
a freaking another tier, dude.
I think
Like,
she's either the worst or second worst.
cause like Reva is just like she doesn't get
She doesn't do
combos
anything.
anywhere near like, and then like any of the combos she has is like shield bash combos, but like shield bash combos aren't reliable because it's just
No.
like the second somebody decides to not touch front, which you know it's not that they have to not touch front forever, you know, but it's just like
Well,
they just
she
have to
can't
not touch
force
front when
him
you
to
have
go
nothing
up
threatening
front.
in hand.
And the thing is, we live in a meta where the super dominant characters are front row monsters, and they just bully her up front, even though she has shield bash.
Yeah, and the thing is, just like if you're a character that doesn't need to touch front, you know, you projectile weapons, then it's just like shield bash just does nothing. Like when I play Dread, dude,
Yeah,
shield bash does nothing. I never
it's
get hit
not a
by
move. It's not
that.
real.
um,
I think it's just a lame, uninteractive move. It's a hey, don't go here move, but like she doesn't have anything to capitalize on it. I'm I think she just needs reworked. I think her kit just doesn't do anything. I'd do a full retool on her.
but yeah, I think so. One thing I was thinking of with Shield Bash is like because Shield Bash just needs to change significantly. Is that like
Hmm.
the thing is Shield Bash, its current form was kind of like meant to, I guess, function as a counterattack obviously it doesn't do that at all. Um, because it
Yeah.
can't really effectively counter anything that is the opponent would have to be in the front in order for it to counter something. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, the opponent does not need to be in the front. Um, so
Correct.
one thing I was thinking of is like if Shield Bash had more recovery, so that it was actually a risk to use it, but it actually functioned as like a counterattack. Like I don't know, like Reva freaking throws out a hit scan or something when she successfully
That
armors
would be
through a
so
spell.
cool.
That would
I'd be
make so
chill with
much more
that.
sense. She would be so much better, and her kit like she would it would make sense with the character.
And give Rick a shield pierce back if we're doing that.
Yeah, she never needed to lose the Pierce. So I mean, if possible,
Yeah.
I doubt it's coming back. I think if Pierce was gonna come back, it already would have came back. But
I think you're probably right. But we haven't had a patch in a hot minute, so who knows?
yeah, like Shield Bash used to get like kind of just reworked, and I think it should just be a proper counter move because right now it's just not. Like you whiff it, okay, nothing really bad is gonna happen to you a lot of the time, but it
You're
doesn't
not
do anything.
progressing anything. It's
you
just not
know,
doing
I'd
anything.
rather it be more risky, but you actually get rewarded, and then the counter will be useful across all matchups instead of just any character that wants
Hmm.
to box you. You will occasionally get a successful shield bash off, you know. But the fact that it's just worthless and any matchup that against a character that does not need to touch front is just so bad for for Reva.
Yeah, it's I. You see the last tier list we made. I was like, "Yo, she's low key kind of decent." No, I see the light. She's just bad. She needs fixed. She needs retooled or like mega buffed.
Yeah, please. Reva needs lots of love, dude. Because like right now, she's just not in a great spot. But
She's
let's
bad and she's lame.
yeah. But let's move on now.
Yeah,
Let's move on to Saffron.
Saffron. So I played a ton of Saffron. Saffron's one of my most played characters, probably not like my most played, but I mained her for a long time. I've used her in a bunch of tourneys. I've put a lot of effort in with her to try to advance her stuff, and she is just so not worth it right now. I don't think she's bad, but I think there's just no reason to play her when other characters do what she does better.
Yeah,
Like I think she's a genuinely pretty solid character overall, but in with I think if we hit the overall damage output, her damage becomes a lot more respectable. Um, so I think once we get into what we think should be done with that kind of stuff with cards later, I don't think we really need to change Saffron. We just need to hit the stuff that's more egregious to bring it down more in line with what she can do. Because I think her kit's pretty strong. It's pretty solid. Um, it's just she just why would you play her when Terrible's there? Like she's this base cast Terrible. She's base cast version of one of the DLC trio, so there's just no reason to play her.
so I mean,
PG and I were talking about that after our last set, where it's like it just feels purpose. It feels pointless.
my thoughts like to address that, I think because I also think Saffron's in a decent spot, but it's simply just she's kind of overshadowed. I think to address
Mm-hmm.
that, like I think if Sparkler was a bit stronger of a tool, because you can't really get much off of wait no not Sparkler,
Architects.
Spark Text, yeah. If you could do more with that, I think that it would make her more attractive and would allow her to stand out a bit more when
I
Terrible is in the
just don't know
game.
how to do that.
So I would do something revolving around that because right now, like a lot of the character is Sparkler stuff, right? Um,
Ooh, what if Spark Text double hit on the outside?
that's a possibility. But I just think Spark Text gets buffed, and this character will probably be a bit more of an attractive pick.
Because Sparkler's just a super solid projectile. Just it's a generic, but it's really solid. Just the frame data is great. Spark Text, you have to be god to combo off of. It's definitely a tool you can use, but it's just so hard to hit confirm off of. When I'm super honed in, I can do Spark Text Thunder and neutral and stuff with Spark Text 2. You can't do anything with Spark Text 1 on reaction. But it makes it so like it's a real tool, but it needs more. It needs to be more hit confirmable, given what the current meta is like. So like she needs something with that. I fully agree that addressing Spark Text is the way to go.
All right, so
I think we could put her in buff.
yeah, let's buff Spark Text, and I think that is
That's all we need to do.
a good way to approach things. All right, let's move on to
Slicey.
Solicy.
You said
Okay.
it right.
Yeah.
Never heard that
I'm saying it
before.
right today. Um, but I think after the Hailblade buff,
I
you
think
know,
she's fine.
damage feels good, dude. Like the
Yeah,
risk,
yeah.
the reward is worth the risk.
Yeah, like I don't want to just eat that. I don't want to walk through that now. That's 3 damage just laying on the floor. Like someone just left that laying there. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, like 3 damage is like I'm not trying to touch that now. I'm just like I walk over a Hailblade. I'm like ow.
It's like you step on a Lego, but like
And then it
like
also
before it's
increases the
like you
combo
step on a
damage.
Lego, now there's just a thumbtack sitting there, and it's like, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, and then also Hellblade, since it's used
Combo
in combos,
damage.
also helps the combo damage a bit. Just makes the
Yeah, like
character more rewarding for the risky playstyle, and I think that the character is in a great spot now.
so like Hailblade and Hail Slash. If you hit both, that's 7 damage for 1 mana. That's really funny.
Yeah,
I think it's fine though. I think it's balanced. I think she's in a good spot. Um, I think she is a little niche in terms of solo manning her. She is hard to pull off solo man, even though we have seen her win a major solo.
yeah, Varya's just so
Um,
good.
I think Varia is just different.
Varya's just different.
I, I
I
think it's
realized
I think
Varya's
it's a
different when I
Varia
tried to play this
difference.
character.
I think it's just a Varia difference, where like we can't chalk it up to the character. It's just Varia having like robot hit confirms.
But
Like he'll literally weapon 1 5 times in a row. It'll be the exact same thing every time, but the one time it connects, he somehow just knows, and you'll just get murdered for it. She hits hard, but I just think she struggles a little too much in certain matchups. I think Tretta still does really good against her. Perilla just completely gutter trash stomps her. Because the issue with Celsi is she has to run auto slash really, like if we're being real, and auto slash versus web is just
you died.
yeah, she has unplayable matchups, like genuinely unplayable. I think she's in a fine spot. I think if we tone down the universal damage output, she looks a lot better. So I think we can just leave her as is, especially
Alrighty.
after the Hailblade buffs. I think those helped a ton.
Yeah, I agree. I think this character's in a good spot right now. So let's move on to Shizo.
So as the Shiso guy for a long time, I don't know. I like the character. I think he's cool. I don't I don't like how he plays right now. I think having your main neutral tool be tied to a limited resource that you can't get back is just not great. I know a lot of people complain about the combo damage he has because of it, which is fair and valid. I think we should just hit combos across the board. Um, especially it's the most broken combo tool in the game by far, other than maybe K Wave. But the fact that it does 4 away, pushes them to 5 away, and still combos in a minigun is absurd. Like, there's no reason he should have something like that that does 5 damage on top of that. I hate the fact that it's limited, and I hate the fact that it's as stupid as it is. Center mass, I think, is in a good spot the more I fight it. The more I fought, Ishii has a really good Shiso. Um, like it's one of his best characters. He's really good on Shiso, and he'll go up front and just scare you away from just even trying to challenge him by running center mass. Because if you try stepping in that general vicinity, he's covering 2 tiles above, 2 tiles below, and he's just inherently threatening the tiles in front. A lot of area denial. It's pretty nice, but he needs some way to scare you away from just camping him out because 6 shooter ain't doing anything. What are your thoughts on him?
So my thoughts. So I think that Shizo tends to be just a little bit overrated because I hear complaints about him, but
Hmm.
it's just like I like once you play him and that it sinks in. It's like I have no neutral. I whiff
Yeah,
bullet, dude. Whiffing bullet is
feels like I'm getting
is
stabbed in
like
the
the
chest.
worst feeling on the
My
planet.
no neutral king.
It's just like I just whiffed a freaking bullet. I have 5 bullets left. I run out of bullets. I become the worst character in the game.
I just whiffed almost 20% of my neutral.
Yeah, and like I want to emphasize how bad Shizo is when he loses bullets. Shizo is trash with no bullets.
There,
It is terrible.
people try talking up pistol whip. It's like, okay, just walk away from it.
Yeah, like I can just not stand in the front 2 columns and then never have to deal with any of your weapons ever again after you
It's
run out of bullets. Like
it reminds me
it's
of that
bad.
that image of the dude making the tweet saying, "How's cyberbullying even real? Just turn off the computer." How is pistol whip even real? Just don't stand in front row. You're good. What's he gonna do?
Yeah. So then,
Throw his gun at you?
obviously the trade-off for such a big risk is that Shizo has absolutely absurd combos. Um, with absurd combos, very high damage, but I think that's a good thing. I think Shizo
But
should hit very hard because like the risk is massive because you run out, you're probably losing. Like I just need to make it clear how you will literally if you have a lead with Shizo and you run out of bullets, the
you're
likelihood
probably
of you
losing.
losing the game literally just got multiplied by 10. Like
So
it's bad, dude. So you need to be able to do a lot with those bullets. Um, so
I
that's
think
why I
it's
think
good
it's
it's as
okay.
strong as it is in that regard. My issue um is combo damage isn't uniquely strong. Like he has only 6 bullets to do what other characters are doing
Oh
with
yeah, the
their unlimited
overshadowing issue.
resources. It's just like, sure, he's got his limited big damage combos. Perilla's got those big damage combos. I don't see her with a limited resource anywhere. Harissa's got those big
Bro, she has an
damage
unlimited
combos.
resource, dude.
Like, you're right. She just makes her own
She has a
resource.
regenerating resource.
Yeah. Anyways, I think he needs reworked again. I'm gonna be real. I don't think this current build of Shiso is great. I don't like him. I much preferred the last build of Shiso before this. The one where he gained bullets for hitting weapon 2. And weapon 2 was like a faster one-shot version of Dread Weapon 2. I love that build of Shiso. I think that's my favorite Shiso we've had. And I think that's a pretty common sentiment.
So I think we'll say adjust.
Adjust.
Although
I agree. Yeah.
I highly doubt he'll get reworked. Because I
No, he
think that if
won't.
Dev
It's
has to
done.
rework this character again, he's probably gonna crash out. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think just his older version was sick.
but yeah, just I don't know. Maybe adjust to I don't. Well, if you just had to adjust and work with the current, what would you think? Like, what kind of adjustment would you make to
Oh man.
make the play style
Give
a
him
bit?
some way. Make it so if you land pistol whip, you get a bullet.
Oh, some way to regen bullets.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you land pistol whip and go back to 1 bullet, you're not going past 1 bullet. You're not doing multi-bullet combos anymore. You're just having a bullet back if they try fighting you. It just gives him something, so you're just not out of the game for the rest of the time because you don't have bullets.
Yeah, that
I think that would be cool.
I think that's a fair suggestion. It is
Make
pretty cool.
pistol whip regenerate a bullet.
All
If
right,
if it on hit, of course,
yeah.
on hit, not on whiff.
All right, let's move on now to
or you
shopkeeper.
could remove pistol whip for a like 3 to 6 mana move that gives him a bullet back. Um, just some way to regenerate a bullet. I think that would be fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
shopkeeper though.
yeah. All right, so shopkeeper. I honestly think shopkeeper is probably just in a good spot like currently.
I
Not too
agree.
strong, but is strong, and I think that the character is just in a good spot. Like, what do you think?
I agree. I think she's a little degenerate because I've always thought that, but nothing egregious compared to what else is in the game right now. So it's fine. I think the biggest issue's her fadeaway stuff being BS still. But it's like a core part of the mini game and character at this point. So I don't think we can do anything about it. I think it's fine. It is very degenerate though. But I think she's
Good.
in a very unique position right now. I think she's strong and does very, very, very well into the meta relative to the rest of the cast. I think if you're excluding the DLC trio, she's the one who does the best into them. She's very good at controlling the space they generally want to play in, and she has good enough damage output outside of just her raw combos to like keep up with the race. Not to say I think she beats any of them, but she can keep up in a very uniquely strong and effective way, which I think gives her a good spot in the meta right now. I think she's pretty strong. Again, not broken, but strong. And she has a very, very unique play style, which isn't a bad thing. I think she's in a good spot. I'd keep her as is.
Yeah, same. I think that she's perfectly fine as is currently. So we'll move on to
I
Tara.
miss when I miss when shopkeeper was the biggest thing we had to worry about.
I know, right? Oh man.
Tara. I think Tara is a very, very interesting character. I think Tara is always going to be slightly underwhelming compared to the higher tiers of the cast, but I think she's fine. She's got a very unique play style, unique methods of control, enables some unique stuff, and I think no matter what the meta turns into, she'll always have tools. I think she fits the low mid tier play style to a T, and does it well. I think she's fine. I don't think she even needs buffed. I think you could do terraform up a damage or something, but that's all I'd change. Oh, then dark matter would be BS with it. Maybe keep her as is. I think she's fine.
Yeah, so I also agree. I don't really think that her kit needs any changes currently because I think there's enough potential as is. Just with her current kit. If there was any changes to the character, you could try. I'd say maybe like I don't know, like some of the spells that she might want to use.
Yeah,
You could probably try buffing her spell or two that she likes to use to make them just make her a little
like
bit stronger.
earthquake.
But in terms of her kit by itself, I really don't think that I would change it.
Yeah, I don't think she's too strong. I think she is on the weaker side of the cast, but not to a bad degree. And she can still keep up with anyone. I think she's in a very good spot. I don't think it's a bad thing to have characters that are weaker than the rest, especially when they still have a unique play style and are still viable.
All right. Well,
So I say, yeah, keep her. Terrible.
terrible.
Nerf. Regular nerf, not mega nerf, but nerf.
Yeah, I think the
In my opinion, I think
so
that's a very, 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 very common consensus.
yeah, so with terrible, so I've been playing her quite a bit, and I will say I do think that she tends to be overrated a bit. Now, with that said, she's still really freaking good, but I think like obviously, but I don't think she's like Harissa or
I don't
Perimeter.
think she's at
I
their
think she's
level in
just
any
annoying.
capacity.
Like I think people just hate fighting her because she's just like her weapons are pretty annoying, and Comet right now because of the short cooldown is just suffocating
Mm-hmm.
at times because it's usually she throws it. Oh, your back's getting blown up. Okay, it's getting blown up again and again and again and again.
And
you
again,
know.
and then you have to scrap with her. And I get Dark Wave slow, but it's Dark Wave. Like that move's broken.
So, but yeah, but her damage at least is not as problematic as other characters. Although her neutral is like absurdly strong, her damage is not
Yeah.
really good. I do have a combo deck that can output large amounts of damage, but with meta nerfs, hopefully, if the meta spell nerfs are getting hit, that will pretty much solve itself because it's more of the meta spells just being dumb rather than her having easy access to high damage. Because even the combos that I were able to work out, they're really tight. they're very tight. So they'll probably just disappear once the meta spells are nerfed. Um,
Makes sense.
so I think in that regard, you literally just nerf comet cooldown just a
I
bit
agree with that.
so that
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
all I do.
suffocating. That's a little.
I
That's
don't know
literally it.
about just a bit. I think it needs a decent nerf. Um, I think so. I've been playing a ton of Terrible as well. I'd consider her my not main because I've been spamming Perilla, but after Perilla, I think she's my main right now. I've cooked up a lot of fun decks with her. I think Comet enables a lot of cool stuff. Like it makes Frost Slash good, for example, because I can like poke them out of the back and snipe them with Frost Slash. She's got a lot of cool layering stuff, and I just think she's a little too good at what she does right now. She's too good at just layering 15 million giant hitboxes without having to think about it, which de-incentivizes precise play and de-incentivizes you cooking with other characters. So it's like, why play Saffron when I could play Brilla? Why play other characters when I could just play her? Or not Brilla, Terrible. Um, Brilla on the brain. But no, it's just, I think she overshadows way too much of the cast as is, and I think some cooldown nerfs would really help.
Yeah, I agree.
And I do think she's very strong right now. I think she's clearly third. But I don't think I agree. She's not on the level for Ascend Perilla.
All right, so then let's go to Violette. So I'll let you speak first, since you definitely have played this character quite a bit.
My poor baby. She needs so much help. She doesn't. The issue is she has to go up front. She has to fight you up there to like play a real neutral. And this game's boxing options are obscene right now, so she can't do that. She has to be on angle to get anything really done, unless she wants to spam steps. But at that point, you're stuck using Whirl with her, and Whirl's kind of bad with its damage output right now. So you're playing a character whose whole gimmick is high damage combos, but her combo damage is like average right now.
Yep.
and and people complain about her frame data on her buttons, but like it's directly in front of her. That's all she's hitting. Like she's got no range. She's got her combos are like middling. They're like average, and her whole gimmick is being a glass cannon type deal. So you're already losing there. Her neutral sucks because she gets gutted by tile denial harder than Shuretta does. And she doesn't have off angles she can run. Like it's push slash and steps, and like that's it. You can do like distant off angles, but you can't do anything up front, which gives her some like turbo garbage matchups against characters with off angle boxing up front. Like Harissa into Violet is like unplayably bad. Like pick up a different character. I haven't even tried Perilla into her. No, I have. It's miserable. I haven't used Violet. I played it on the Perilla side. It's unplayable. She just has so many unplayably bad matchups, so many unplayably bad situations, and she can't cook to save her life because she's hard locked into so many spells to even make her function.
Yeah.
She is in a very, very sad place right now. She's like, I don't know if I'd say she's in the worst place of any character because Riva exists, but she's really bad and she doesn't have anything going for her in terms of like creativity with deck building because she just can't run any variety without completely throwing.
Yes.
What do you think?
So yeah, just to get my thoughts out. I definitely agree. Dude, like Violette right now is so overshadowed it's not even funny because it's like like the entire thing with the characters, high risk, high reward. Except the reward isn't high because there's like a bunch of other characters that hit just as hard as you, and they don't have to have such
the giant
linear strategy.
I think linear is the best word to describe her.
Yeah, because literally straight line, bro.
Super linear, super mega linear neutral, and super linear deck building. It's really sad.
Yeah, like she is easily the most inflexible character in the game to deck build with, in my opinion at least.
I agree
And
fully.
it's just like, and then she struggles to box against some of the stronger characters in the game because they just absolutely bop her. And then also Tile Denial shuts her down really hard. And then, all of this and her damage output is like 20s to like mid 30s.
Like, yeah, it's like
And you
I
have
almost want to call her damage bad. I almost want to
Harissa.
call it weak.
Harissa, I would say Shoal's deck is probably on the lighter end of damage
For
for
that character.
for
Yeah,
Hari
and
strategies, and
and
it
he's
hits
hitting 35,
the
45
damage
off
range is the
straight
exact same.
hits.
Perilla just hits harder, right? Coretta
Yeah,
hits
just
harder.
flat
Hazel
out.
hits harder. Shizo hits harder. Like,
Combo Nira hits harder. Chiretta hits way harder. Combo
so
Dread hits way harder.
these characters have more tools to work with than neutral.
She
Um,
does hit harder than Queen.
yeah, she hits harder
She
than Queen.
does hit harder than Queen.
She hits harder than Queen.
That's her. That's
And
her
Reva.
golden. I think the worst part about it. So Numbers made a mod, for her that I thought was super cool and fun. It basically keeps the character the same, except after I think it was a 5-frame delay, she hits 4 away on her weapon one after the 3 away. So basically, weapon one reaches 4 away, but it's slower to hit that 4 away. So it unlocked a lot of new cool routes and stuff, and helped her poke back row. And she's basically the exact same character with that. They took a mega giant buff, and she still sucked.
Oh, it's so sad.
Like, the fact that it was that big of a change, I know there were some people, unnamed Rooney, that said she'd be top 1 broken, be better than Perillo with that. Don't listen to anyone who said that. I tried that mod for a decent
to be better
bit.
than freaking Perilla. Oh my lord.
Weapon 2 would need to hit all 4 tiles. Like, it's everything. She'd still be struggling. No, I think she needs mega buffed or reworked entirely. She's just bad.
Yeah, this character's
Every
niche
time I
is
see
not...
someone try to make her work, it just makes me feel bad because she's just not. She doesn't have anything going for her right now. There's zero reason to play her.
I agree.
And I say this as someone who's level 87 on her. Like, I put my time in. She's just not worth it. There's no reason to play her.
Yep, I completely agree.
Do you have any ideas for things that could fix her? She needs the ability to play off angle. But I don't know how to give that to her.
Well, that's for Dev to figure out.
You're right. Like,
feedback.
I don't have anything, but please, please fix that sad excuse of a character.
Yeah, definitely. She needs big mega buffs. But now let's go ahead and move on to the spell changes.
Bet.
So just
I'm double team K wave, double team K wave, double team K wave,
double team K wave. Please.
Don't even. Yes, that core is destroying the meta in every region right now.
It is so broken.
Because the top 2 Japanese players are both running double team K wave deck, and the top 1 non-Japanese player is running it. Like, everyone's running it right now. Like, it's just stupid.
Like, yeah, double teaming.
It's way too cheap for how much damage it does, and it combos in and out of everything. And they last so long, it gives you more mana back. It's just stupid.
Yeah, this is 3 mana 18 damage, except it's not actually 3 mana 18 damage because you regen.
Last 5 years.
It's 2 mana 18 damage. Like, this enables so many incredibly hard hitting combo strings. It's not even funny. Like, literally running, if your character can run double team K wave, your damage just jumps to 30 to 50 automatically. It's actually absurd with how hard that strategies that utilize.
It's the biggest defender of the current combo meta.
Absolutely.
And the current combo meta is way too much damage.
Absolutely. It's just the damage is absurd right now, and it's a big part of it is these 2 spells are just, they hit way too hard for their mana cost because it's effectively 2. And then
It makes
it's
the current average damage output what high roll should be.
yeah, like your average is what high rolling should be. That's how crazy it
Like
is.
you're hitting 50 damage combos on average. That should be a oh, you had bomb set up and everything played out perfect type deal, not a oh, you just do that.
But just to go a little bit into each spell by itself. So double team I thought should probably just straight up go into 8 damage. It's still probably going to be good because like here's the thing with double team, right? It's easy to combo into. It's very easy to combo out of. If they hit step double team, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just follow
You
it
just
because
react to the hit step
it's just
and they
easy.
get hit anyway because you can chase it. So he's
Hmm.
like, you can't hit step at a double team. Like you're still getting hit. So gap one is effectively true as long as you react to it. And then
Which you just
obviously
should
shielding
be.
it is quite dangerous currently because you shield it and it's 10 damage to your shield and you either eat the 10 damage to your shield or you drop shield and
You
get hit.
technically there's a super tight parry set up for it, but it's I don't think we should expect people to have to do that just to be able to play the game against it.
Yeah. And then moving on to
Oh,
K Wave.
K Wave.
My thoughts on K Wave were like it K Wave was a spell that I didn't want to get nerfed for like a long time, but like I cannot justify not nerfing the spell any longer. Like I would probably cut it down to be 3/2, so it hits 3 times. Because at least that way it's still 6 damage. Because like I don't want K Wave to be something that's not worth the hassle of setting up a situation where you want to hit it because you do need to be in the front usually, unless you're the character that can two away into K Wave. But
I put the numbers together at some point. If you increase the interval by like 1 or 2 frames, the shot interval on it, and then remove the last hit, everything works out still. You can still do basically all the combos out of it that you used to be able to, other than like super egregious stuff like whatever. I don't even know. But you can still get your rag, your triple barrel, your whatever you want. And it does less damage.
yeah,
And the other thing that I think is really important right now is it makes boxing too strong because you can't shield it.
yeah, you can
And
shield it.
increasing the shot interval makes it shieldable, and you can hit step out of it. You still take damage. You still eat damage off it, but you can hit step out so you don't get true block string to death.
Yeah, I
Um,
think that's good. I think that's a good thing.
I agree.
So change to 3/2 probably. At least that's what our suggestion is.
Yes, and increase the
And
shot interval. I don't remember if the numbers added up to 1 frame or 2. I think it was just one more frame is all it needed to be basically the same move in terms of combo potential.
but yeah, that sounds good. All right, so moving on to some other. I'm gonna throw lasso in here probably,
It
cause
just falls into combo slot meta where yeah,
it's
it
just
shouldn't do what it does.
lasso is so plus. It combos into terrible W2.
Which is
That is how plus it is. You can
um
lasso, walk 3 tiles, and K wave somebody.
I was gonna mention that, yeah.
It is absurdly plus. And then the thing is, like with lasso, is that it drags as well. It's plus,
Hmm.
it drags, it's free, and it is just because of that. It is very good in combos, and it just allows for some extensions that are just a bit silly.
So I like the frame data on it is my thing because it's not quick, but I don't like it being free.
Yeah, like that's what I thought. I'm just like this should probably just cost 1 mana, and then they just keep it the same.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
I think that's fine.
because like that way it's still good. Because like here's the thing, really realistically, if you nerf
Other
the recovery
stuff.
of the spell, it's still going to combo into so much crap. Because
Hmm.
like keep in mind right now it is plus enough to combo into terrible W2,
Which
freaking
is
Dark Wave, right? That's what
half
it's
a
called.
second to start up
Yeah,
almost.
it is that plus. So it's like reducing the recover, nerfing the recovery is probably not even going to make a big difference. It's just you're not going to be getting anything that's insanely slow. You're still going to get like most things, right? So I think it's just more appropriate to increase the cost. That way, the strength of the spell is still there, but this is no longer like free. Like you can't just you can't extend into this for free.
Let's see what other spells need. What are your thoughts on Bouncing Blade?
I think Bouncing Blade is fine. I like how it is.
It's
I
not
think
something
it's
that's
good,
thought of much,
but
but it shows up pretty frequently at high level decks. It ends up. I think the issue is reusing it in combos makes it 1 damage 8 mana.
well, the thing
Would it?
is, I think it's also part of the issue is double team K wave because it's
I
very
agree. I
reusable in
agree.
that.
I wonder if making it so the retoss does less damage would be possible.
Like it also just make the retoss slower, so it's harder
That's fair.
um
Make
to
it stay in
really
the maybe
repeat
make it
use.
make the airtime longer.
Yeah, they could just
That
literally
would be
just
neat.
make the airtime longer, and if I'll put that as adjust, why not?
Yeah, because
You could just increase
I
the
think it
airtime to
just
make it
falls
less
under
abusable in
it's
combos.
because not because I think the move's egregious. I just think it falls in with the combo slot too hard. With like the combo stuff I'm talking about, the double team K wave core.
Yeah,
I think it just makes that a little too much.
but yeah,
Um
literally just increase airtime, and that would you wouldn't be able to get insane extensions off of it, and that would probably help that. And then what else was on my nerf list? I think Swallow Spear was on there. I think it should
yeah,
it's like
yeah, it's just degenerate.
it should just go to like 5 mana or something. Like just not 6. Like I don't want it to
Yeah,
be like
that's
gutted, but like it doesn't need to be 6. It could probably I think 5 will probably be fine. If it's like
yeah.
5 individual pots,
I'd be chill with that. It is a little bit much right now. I'm fine with that, yeah.
yeah, six
Um
mana is yeah.
so I think we should definitely talk about the controversial spells right now, even if we don't necessarily know if they should be nerfed or not, because there are a lot of controversial spells.
1 second. I feel like I'm fair. I think I had a like on my list that I prepared. I think I had another spell, but I cannot remember what it
Rush,
was.
maybe.
No, Rush wasn't on there. Although I do hate Rush. Rush is
I
just
was gonna say I know you're a Rush hater.
I'm a very big Rush hater. What
Magna Flare?
where was it? Ah, it was Last Letter.
Oh,
That
duh.
was that was the
Yeah,
one that
I think it falls into way too much degenerate stuff.
like here's the thing with Last Letter right now is I don't know what to do with this spell because every single time this spell gets played, like
It's
every single time someone makes a strategy that could consistently make use of Last Letter, so it's worth building. It's
it's
broken.
an
It's
abomination.
broken,
Because
and
remember when Shid did that on
yeah, on
Shopkeeper
Shopkeeper and just spam traps in the back.
and just won
And just
everything.
go into freaking Last Letter. Then now we have Perilla absolutely abusing Last Letter by just freaking comboing the entire deck and then ending it on Last Letter into like 50 damage. And
Honestly, would anyone care if it's gone?
I like that's the thing. It's just like I don't know how to like. Here's the thing: you nerf Last Letter, right? And then it's just like okay, Last Letter's not worth using because
It's
the
either going to be unplayable or broken.
yeah.
Like, there's no in between. I don't think it's.
That's the
I'd be
issue.
fine cutting it or completely just reworking it.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I cut it, but like I think it's just here. Like I don't know what the heck you're gonna do with this
Yeah,
spell
it's.
because like this spell is just so
Oh,
hard
for
to balance.
remove, can we put Monsoon?
Yo, yeah, that can go straight and remove. Take that out of the
We
game.
all hate that.
Nobody likes this spell.
It's universally hated.
It's just this spell is just lame. It
Do
just
we even
slows
need to
down
get
the
into
game.
like everyone hates it? I ran it on Shiso for a while, and everyone I played with it hated it
Yeah,
because
this spell is just not fun. It just
I
like, oh, you want to use invade? Screw you. And then like the thing is like you can upkeep it for so long. Like when you get monsoon
hmm
and then you top
hmm
deck it, it's just like that's just like a whole like 10 seconds of you just not being able to align anything.
You can't
And
play the game.
yeah, it's just like you just have to wait.
Stupid.
You just have to wait. And then the window to punish Monsoon Cast is not big. It
It's
is
not
like
real.
really
It's
small.
fake. It's not real.
But the thing is, like, the spell's
Um,
not like broken, you know. But it's just like it's
it's
just
just
completely unfun.
it shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, controversial spells. Auto slash is very controversial right now.
Bro, people need to leave auto slash alone, man.
I think auto slash is fine and should be unchanged.
I agree. Like, I don't
Um,
know why people hate this spell so
it's
much.
because they don't know how
like,
to fight steps. We're like a year in and people still don't know how to fight steps.
like here's the thing, right? Like people, I cannot take auto slash complaints seriously when I have literal video footage that was not even difficult to obtain of people whiffing auto slash and dying.
Yeah.
Like,
I posted a video in the Discord of people holding slashes in hand, and I will stand there and wait and just react. I'm not saying you need to raw react, but you can poke at it. Like steps are not as broken as people think.
no, they really aren't. Like, I don't understand why they are
I,
so hated.
I had a session with Varia recently, and he DM'd me afterwards and was like, "I didn't know you could just react to steps like that." Because I was straight hitting him with Frost Slash on reaction to his steps. Which it's like, dude,
Dude,
they are not all that.
like that's the thing. Like, I don't even react. I just straight up either maneuver around it or I just straight up like counter hit you.
You just shoot. Yeah,
I just shoot.
steps are. That's the thing. That's the thing. Playing steps into like the super experienced players is just miserable. Because every time you press it, you risk getting murdered for it.
Yeah, like if you whiffs, like if you obviously they're avoiding the hit, right? And they do allow for a lot of things. They allow for some great combos.
Yeah.
You know, they allow you to handle people that sitting back. They allow you to attack.
They're
that
anti-camp. They're inherently interactive. They're great. I love
they're
steps.
great. But if you
If
whiff,
you mess up,
if you whip auto, it's bad. Like it's pretty freaking bad if you whip auto. And then you can dodge and return, but eventually, like that's only gonna work until they start reading it. Because they start reading the dodge and return, then like now it's just like
you just
punished.
you just get punished. The number of times I've fought you, and you've like minigunned my step into a full combo is obscene. It is miserable playing steps against someone who's super good against them because they will just kill you for it. I think steps are fine. I think people got to leave auto alone because otherwise camping's going to be broken.
Yeah, like leave auto alone. It's fine. I don't know why. There's so much counterplay to auto slash. I don't even know why people hate this spell so much. And the counterplay gets used, and then it's not like auto slash is a thing that every character has to play. Like there are characters that don't play auto.
What are your thoughts on Blink and Rush?
Blink and Rush. I think they're lame as heck. I don't really like. Here's the thing, Blink and Rush, just the ideal way to use these spells is to camp, because if you don't camp with them, then you're not. It's just not ideal because then you want your opponent to be up front so that you can go blink at them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you blink early, you might get punished, right? Same with Rush.
I think Rush is much more egregious.
Yeah, Rush is armor.
Because you're invincible and it's bigger. I'm down for adjusts on both, yes.
Like they just need to function a little bit different so that they're not so strong of a camping tool, and that they instead promote more interactive gameplay, or like a good if not, like a good thing that I would do to probably adjust Rush is literally like, why does Rush hit second column? Like, just remove that.
I don't know, dude.
Why does that hit second column? Like, it only needs to hit first column, dude.
There was a change I saw. I don't remember the specifics of what we did, but it was basically just make Blink shoot from where you're going from. Make Blink shoot from your origin tile. So you still teleport up front, but Blink shoots from back there. So it's more of a maneuverability tool than just I'm going to teleport in front of you with a hitbox already there, which would be neat. I think the reception to that concept was pretty good. Let's see.
All right.
What other spells? I know there are more.
One
I
spell I
think
want buffed,
yes,
and this is only because I played Face Roll. Did I realize this, bro?
Acid Rain.
The active frames on this spell are atrocious, dude.
It
They're
was a mod
so
Rooney
bad.
did. Rooney modded it and increased all the active frames on it to 12, and it was still fine.
But man, like, cause like, dude, like the amount of times I cast Acid Rain and it just doesn't hit,
Mm-hmm.
cause they
Yeah,
just walk through it, and it's like it is just such an annoying feeling. Cause like the
yeah.
thing is like they'll be on a tile where the poison raindrop is physically touching their body, and they're
But
just
it just
not
doesn't.
getting
Yeah.
hit. And it's like a lot of the times, I throw this out and I'm vulnerable, right? And they just walk at me, and I'm like, yo.
Like, leave me
Where's my
alone. I'm
hitbox?
trying to. Yeah, I'm fully down for an active frame buff on that.
Yeah, it
Have
has
you
2 active
seen?
frames per raindrop.
Have
2.
you seen my Lux Cannon Terrible deck?
I don't believe I have.
I won the Christmas Clash tourney with it. It was fun. It was a Lux Cannon mirror in Grands, but the big reason I've been spamming it is because it lets me use Power Drain really easily because I'm running a bunch of structures. I'm running Lux Cannon, Armor Drop, Bomb Toss. And I'm using Power Drain off that to get basically free 2-hit Power Drains. And I'm using Terrible with Magna Flare. So they're scared to box Terrible because I have Weapon 2. So I basically poke at them with with Comet and just confirm into Magna Flare, and they just take 40 damage off it.
Oh, fun
Um,
time.
Everyone that's fought it hates it, like really bad hates it. It's pretty degenerate. And I was wondering what your thoughts on the concept is
I mean, would you
of
consider
Power
it
Drain
gimmicky though?
Magna Flare. What was that?
Would you consider it gimmicky?
Yes.
Because I mean, if it's gimmicky, then I
I'd
don't really
consider it effective though. I'd consider it like it's a gimmick, but a real one.
a real gimmick.
Like it's strong, but it's a gimmick. Let me see if I can find a clip of it.
Yeah. Show me a
Yeah,
clip.
because it's pretty degenerate. It's very fishing heavy, and it's very very overly rewarding to land.
Let me also check my 6-page document that Dev's gonna get from me.
'Cause the deck is also abusing
Let's see what other
Power
spell
Drain
buffs.
Spear Wave. And I think Power Drain Spear Wave's pretty stupid too. Yeah, I'm not seeing much.
All right,
I'm
but you
sure I've got
said-
it saved somewhere.
But
yeah,
you said they should use
basically-
Magna Flare, right?
Yeah, it's Magna Flare. I think Magna Flare with Power Drain is stupid.
So do you want nerf or just on that?
I want some sort of adjustment. I don't know what, but I think the Power Drain interaction's really degenerate right now. I've got to find it. I'll find it and send it to you later.
All right.
But I definitely want to see something with it because I think as is, it's pretty degenerate. With how much damage it's doing. Let me scroll through the spells, see if there's anything else egregious.
One thing I wanted, which I mentioned earlier, where is it?
Whirl.
Whirl was one. Actually, I guess I'll do that now. Where is it? Whirl. Give me 8 damage, please. Please, that's the only thing keeping Kingslayer in the grave right now, is that this does not do 8 damage.
Look at this. Starting from the timestamp.
Oh, the timestamp. Alright, I'll check it out.
I accidentally knocked him out of it early. It could have done more damage, but that's the kind of play I'm discussing.
Ouch.
Where you're just kind of standing there fishing for that, and there's no reason not to, and then you hit it and they die.
Yeah, I see.
Because the full it does 30 damage.
That's in
The Magna Flare.
and that's on your channel, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So people can check that out if they want to.
Yeah.
But,
It's just nasty. I hate it.
What do you think about Whirl?
I think it needs buffed back. Yeah, it's just bad. It's not great right now. You only use it with steps. There's no other reason to use it, basically. If you're not using it with steps, you're not using it. There's no reason to.
Yeah, for me, I'm just like, please give me 8 damage, please. Bring my deck back from the grave, man.
Yeah, no, that was a cool deck.
And then that's
Let me
just a
see.
maybe
Let me
because
scroll.
the root still got nerfed, but I mean, it would at least bring back the shield setup that made it good.
What are your thoughts on Whiplash?
Whiplash? Whiplash is I don't really. This would be an I don't know for me.
I think it shouldn't be as is. I think it needs changed. Because it's like, why are you using Whiplash
Yeah, I don't really know what to.
at any level of play? Why are you using Whiplash?
I don't know what it should be doing. You know, like it's just the hitbox is weird. You know, like yeah, it's off angle, but it's not off angle that I care about playing.
Exactly. It's
Like,
like why are you?
It doesn't have a
just
niche
doesn't
that
do
makes you want to use
anything.
it.
Yeah, so I definitely want to see some change with that because it doesn't do anything right now.
But yeah, I agree. And then also
I've heard a lot of people talk about buffing spear throw or shield throw.
yeah, shield throw. I actually I like the suggestion that was in Cal's mod where
I'm not familiar.
he said to make it so that like, right now with shield throw, if you don't catch that crap's just gone. But like to make it stay on the ground for a little bit.
Oh, that's a good
So
idea.
that you could actually pick it up and it will make the spell feel less bad to play because you don't throw your entire shield away, and then if it hits something but you don't catch, then your shield's just gone. But now you
The only
have,
issue
like,
is also
more...
if you with the frame data on it's kind of bad.
Yeah, but it does 12
So it's
damage,
not
man.
You're
It does
right.
12. So
Yeah,
you gotta
but
be careful with that.
again, we're in a meta where I guess if we're fixing everything else.
Because like people already hate Crystal Rifle right now, so that's why you have to be careful with insta shield popping spells like this. Because it is a 12 damage straight line, right?
Also, I don't want to nerf it, but I still want to say I think Paragon's stupid. And if we bring everything else in a check, we might have to look at Paragon.
Potentially.
Just because it's super fast, super plus, off angle, giant AoE for 2 mana, that's riskless. Anyways,
Yeah, I think
there's
it's quite
definitely
strong,
another
but...
spell I had in mind, but I'm trying to figure out what it was. I'm scrolling through right now. There was another spell on here. I was like, I want to change.
Where's the other spell? Where is it? Missiles. Where's missiles? Please.
Missiles, real.
Please buff missiles, please. I can't find it. Where
they removed it from this too. It's dead. It's gone.
Missiles permanently died. It's not even in the tier list chart.
Wait,
I probably scrolled over it. Where the heck is missiles?
Is it already on the list?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let me pull. Am I forgetting what it looks like?
I'm definitely not forgetting what missiles looks like. Where the heck is it? Dude, I am like...
Oh, it's by Minigun Rag and yeah.
Minigun Rag.
It's to the right of Minigun. One tile to the right.
Oh, I'm used to it being green.
Me too. I was forgetting what it was looking like.
Oh my God,
I'm in here
alright.
looking for a green. Well, because no one uses this. No one uses modern mistletoe.
Please
It's
buff.
supposed to be green. It's a green spell.
Yeah, please buff this. Like, dude, I tried making missiles work with Gunner X.
It's
Just
pretty
play
bad
inverter,
right now.
man.
Yeah.
Like, like I slotted in, like, back when inverter was 12 damage. I slotted inverter in for missiles and just immediately improved. Like,
Yeah. Why not?
This spell is not worth playing. It does 6 damage. You don't
And
really
the
get
frame data
confirms
is
off of it
pretty
because
atrocious.
it's super tight. And for 2 mana right now, it's so not worth playing right now, dude. And like honestly, like, I know people hated step missiles, which is why I've been like incredibly hesitant and just like should it just go back to 3, so that at least you have the good firms. But like, I don't know. Now that we've seen a double team K wave meta, like step missiles is only 10 damage, man. So like maybe it's okay. maybe
I
it's
think
okay.
it's fine. I think it's fine. The other spell I want to talk about was Harrier.
Oh,
Like
Harrier. What this spell just
buffer remove. Like
yeah, this is for me. This was an I don't know because it's just like if you're gonna
it
keep
doesn't.
this spell in the game, like
I think at the moment it is the most pointless spell in the game. It has
it
been
serves
since
no
it came out.
purpose.
You serve no purpose.
Yeah, that it's
Like
literally low
it's
tier, dude. Just like you serve no purpose.
low. Yeah, you're right. It's just a nothing spell, and it needs removed or mega buffed because it doesn't do anything right now.
Yeah, it's
Um,
a 1 mana, but it doesn't compare to any other 1 mana spells
I
because
think it
they
would
do
probably
something.
be. It would be like the second. It would still be bad at 0 mana. Like
Yeah, I
it
wouldn't
just
play this at 0 mana.
no. I wouldn't play it in any deck. It doesn't do anything. It's just
Literally,
nothing. The
it's
fact
just a
that that
nothing
thing
spell.
costs mana is an abomination.
So yeah,
Um,
this spell like either it just needs to significantly change, like reworked, or just like remove it, because like this spell I don't think is ever going to be worth playing with the current idea of something that just does damage but does no hit stun.
so another question I had: what are your current thoughts on bomb toss?
Bomb toss. Um, I know I've heard a lot of people wanted to go back to 12. Honestly, at this point, I don't care anymore.
Well,
Because
that's because no one's playing it.
I
No one plays it right now because it's not really worth playing. Like,
double team
so
KO
here's
does
the
more
issue.
damage.
That's the thing. That's why. Like, the damage is so high. Why would you invest time in making bomb try to work?
So do you think
And
that it would rise in value after the meta spell
I,
nerfs?
I think, on one hand, I think yes, I think that'll help. But on the other hand, I think it's so easy to stop it from landing right now. In terms of the high level players, like if I fight you, you are not letting me get that down more than once or twice a match.
Oh no, that's not happening.
No, no,
If
you're
I
either gonna
focus, that crap is
bully
not
me.
hitting the ground.
That's the thing. Like you disarm. Like our matches back when we like were both running traps, we were hitting so much to try to get one thing down. You were hitting your like dread setups where you'd weapon two and then throw something where it's landing,
Oh yeah.
and I'd be trying to. There were times where I'd use Nira. I tried the Nira weapon two, throwing a bomb on the ice spike, and people were double disarming it. And it's like, dude, I think the issue is when the skill level gets so high, you're just not getting bombs down. And nerfing the reward on having bomb down so it doesn't even pop shield is like, I don't know. The only issue is like if you're not at a level of play where they're guaranteed disarming almost everything, it's probably pretty oppressive.
So would you
So I don't know what I
say
want to do with it.
maybe adjust?
I think I want something different because I don't like how it is right now. I think it feels like if more people use it, it would be too oppressive at certain levels of play and too weak at top level play. Because I don't feel incentivized to use it at all. I don't think I should. Especially given terrible exists and just
Oh yeah.
laughs in the face of you all your efforts of landing
Built-in
bomb.
bomb disarm, dude. Like that crap's not sitting in the back.
Like it's
Off
so funny.
angle bomb
Chris Queen
removal.
spends like 6 mana trying to get rid of it. Like trying to position set piece to hit it while not getting sniped back. And Terrible just runs over and is like, hey, this is yours now.
It's like dark wave, off angle, push bomb out of back column.
It's yeah, no, that's a yeah, I want to see bomb change though, because I think it's kind of bad at top level right now.
Yeah.
Just because
definitely
I
get
think people have gotten so good at the counterplay.
would you say that with Claw Trap too or no? Because I remember Claw Trap definitely like
So I think Claw Trap, it being only 1 mana and being harder to disarm makes it fine. Because Bomb Toss, I'm chucking out 2 mana there. Like, and if yeah, I don't know. I think Claw Trap's fine. But
Alright,
I
but
think
yeah, we'll
at a
go
point, disarms just get so powerful. It's like, what do you even do about that? Like, I'm not sure if you've seen, I've got VODs of me disarming Rag against Perp, where she'll try to front row deny me with it. Like, she'll use it as her 3 mana wrecking ball, and I'll just go up and disarm it. Like, I think disarms reach a point where it really hurts the effectiveness a lot of those spells. Like, I disarm over half the wrecking balls that get thrown at me, um, which is not an easy disarm. But the thing is, once you reach a level of play, I'm just expecting people to be doing that. I'm expecting people to be doing the hard stuff. So, like, I don't know. I think it's worth considering overall change on how that mechanic and interaction kind of stuff works.
All right, the next spell I wanted to bring up was Rake, but I don't know where it is.
You want to see it buffed?
It might not even be on here. Because I don't know how old this spell tier list is.
Well, this list had. I think this list has eject, right? I feel like I saw eject on this list. Not eject. Fling.
Yeah,
maybe not fling. SD turrets on here.
Okay, yeah, Rake's probably not on this list. Oh well. Well, anyone watching will know.
Where would you put Rake? Buff?
So I've heard people wanted Rake buffed a little bit. But I would like Rake. You know how Rake is like it goes 4 and then it goes 3, but like why can't it just go 4 both times?
Well, I mean, Perilla's does full screen twice. Why don't we? Yeah.
Like why can't it just go 4 both times? Like
You're right.
I think it should just do that. Like well, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Like, it goes 4 tiles away, and it goes up to 4 tiles away, then it goes up to 3 tiles away, and I'm just like, just make it go 4 tiles away both times. It's already doing 6 damage instead of 8, which is gonna be
weak.
It's gonna make it harder for it to compete with other 2-mana spells. So I'm just like, just make it hit 4 tiles away both times. Yeah. Or increase the damage to 4 per slash, but leave it the same.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
So either one of those I think is fine. And then what else did I have? My buff list. I had an invert on here to just revert the recovery.
Just revert it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like why? Why is there recovery?
I don't know.
It doesn't need to be
because people complain about it too much.
Yeah, I don't know why there's recovery. I think that should just get reverted. And then I think another thing I had I had Tremor on my buff list because
I literally have my cursor over Tremor and was gonna bring it up if you didn't.
Yeah, I had Tremor on my buff list.
That's literally the one I was thinking of right then.
I wanted the startup to decrease to 8 frames so that Terra can combo with it. Off of
that would be sick.
Because you can do the additional hit that Terra gets off cracked tiles. You can do that into Tremor, but it's gap 1.
Oh yeah,
so that would make it gap
fix that. That's
0.
Yeah,
so that's just a little additional thing. You could buff Tremor more than that because
it's pretty bad right now. Oh yeah, Flamberge.
Flamberg, yeah.
Because you had mentioned wanting that changed.
Flamberg's just a little bit hard to work with right now, just due to the fact.
And the reward isn't really. Oh, it's an 8 damage 2-mana spell.
Yeah, like you need a structure.
Wow.
You need to. It's pretty predictable, and although the hitbox is big, the fact that it's pretty freaking telegraphed, does not help.
For very very basic levels of damage.
All the setouts with it are incredibly telegraphed, and then you're not even really hitting for more damage than a lot of combo strategies are doing. So
correct.
I don't know what I would do to buff it to make
Neither do I.
Better.
I wonder if you could basically just make it so so it's just like it's almost moved up 1. So it does the 3, then 4, then 5. Instead of 1 3 5, it does 3 5 5.
Actually, hold on. Does it apply flame on hit? Because I think that was a thing.
No. There's nothing related. It has no flame synergy.
Yeah, please.
There's nothing about it relating to flame other than how it looks.
Yeah, please give it flame synergy. Because like, why is it Flamberg and it's got no flame synergy? that was so yeah. I think that
makes sense. Yeah, like, that would fix.
Give it some flame synergy. It'll make it a bit easier to build around with structure strategies that because like I could then
The thing is, since it has no flame synergy, you know, like if I built a deck around hitting it, I can't go into combust or anything like that.
Correct.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe you can even put down flame tiles, you know. Maybe you can even do that. Because it's already pretty much a 3 mana commitment in most cases, because you need 1 mana to set the structure. Assuming that you're using a 1 mana structure. And then you need to cast it on that structure, which will probably break it, and then you get the cone. You know, the fact that it's already telegraphed, I think it could definitely be doing a bit more to make up for that.
So, there are a couple spells that I wanted to talk about, but they're not like spells that I care about. They're like no one cares about these spells type spells, which is why I want to talk about them. So Crevasse, like, why is that in the game as is? It's 4 mana, and I'm pretty sure the only 4 mana spell. And it's just such a weird,
It's just
unplayable spell. It just
Crevasse is just there. You know,
but I don't think anyone likes it as is.
Listen, I don't know, but it's
I'd throw that in the I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this spell is ever going to get played seriously. Like, pretty much the only time I've ever seen Crevasse get played is meme. It's just a meme, but
that's why I think I want something changed with it. Tri Thunder.
No, we don't buff Tri Thunder, dude.
We can or can't.
Can't buff Tri Thunder. That's 3 thunders, dude. It's too strong.
That is 2 mana for basically thunder.
It's worse than thunder.
I know, it doesn't do anything. It's just a. When do you see people running Tri Thunder?
Nobody runs Tri Thunder. If you're running Tri Thunder, you're literally memeing. It's just worse than
that's
thunder.
The thing.
Like, you could play Paragon.
like you can play Paragon. Tri Thunder exists in a game where Paragon is.
Yeah, like
which is absurd to me. There's some other things.
So
did you have any comments on the root spells, by the way? Any thoughts on them?
I have absolutely zero hope of them getting buffed, so I didn't even bother thinking.
Not even gonna worry. Not even gonna try.
I'm not even gonna worry about it.
That's fair.
I've fought some battles in the past of trying to get root buffed. None of it freaking.
Really, also, laser turret.
Oh, what, the turrets?
No, laser turret specifically.
I think it's fine. I think the turrets are fine. I don't want them to be very good.
That's the thing. What does laser turret? Have you ever seen laser turret played in a real deck?
So there was a time where I saw Perp and ranked, and I sniped Perp with a turret deck.
Did it work?
Yes, it worked.
Okay, I guess we'll leave laser turret as
against turret spam.
I mean, you're right. I guess.
It's just any deck that's running PS just prevents them from being playable.
Yeah, it's just laser turret's such a nothing card.
So it's just a matter of, like, structure spam is just never going to be a viable strategy because of Kinesis being in the game and being as relevant as it is. Like, any deck running
Push slash specifically is
absolutely fold these decks, but these decks should not be good. So, because
I think I agree. That's fair. That's
turret
fair.
spam decks would be.
I did want to bring it up as a topic of conversation because I think it's a very it's a spell. It's a spell, and people don't realize it's a spell. People don't realize it exists.
But yeah, I mean, if your deck's not built to fight turret spam, you will lose to it. I will say that you will lose to turret spam if your deck's not built to fight it.
Let me see. What do you think of Miasma?
Oh, I still feel like that was in my list. My list of spells here that I was gonna send to Dev.
So if you look through, Miasma does 16 poison at most if you just stand there in it.
Yeah, like the thing.
So if you literally just stand there, it does only 5 more poison than an Anubis.
The thing with Miasma is, okay, let's say you create a situation where you can actually force somebody to sit Miasma. You have no mana left after that to actually capitalize off Miasma. And if you don't set up Miasma, they just ignore it completely.
Right? Do you know how many times I've tried making poison work against like you or Shoal, and you just ignore it and hit me?
The spell just is way too difficult. Like it's one of the reasons why Anubis um had issues is because it's just like okay, you know, capitalizing off of it is fairly difficult, you know, and miasma is just worse.
Just revert Anubis to being undodgeable, where it auto applied poison that one time.
Oh god, the auto apply.
That was the funniest thing, dude. Why did it do that? It just made you. What a game.
But miasma is like miasma is one of those cases where like I don't really know how to make the concept work with the way it is. Like I don't even think buffing it will make it better. I think this spell is just not going to work with the current concept.
No, I agree
This is
because
I don't know. And then I had
I'd like to see more one poison or one mana poison spells. Like I'm fine if they do less poison.
yeah, I still think
If
backstab
they're-
should probably apply poison, and decrease
Give
the
it, like-
damage. But that's one thing. One thing I had in the past.
Honestly, I think making miasma do like half the poison per tick, but make it one mana would be fine.
That would make it at least a little bit easier to build around.
It would make it so it's a more of a hey, you should like probably fight me type spell. Which I think that's what it's built to do, but it doesn't do that right now.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
just
think
like,
poison as a concept should be a forced engage tool where it forces them to engage. But right now, the two like main poison application spells that are meant to apply poison, or I guess three. Acid Rain doesn't function,
no active
and
rays.
Anubis and Miasma both cost 2 mana, leaving you with like not enough mana to properly capitalize. So it's like, it's like I'd like to see them both go to 1 mana and get their poison reduced. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah.
I want more relevant poison application spells because I think some of the coolest decision making comes down to what you do when you've got like 10 poison on you and they're trying to block you from approaching. That level of interaction and decision making is so cool to me. But you don't get to see that because all the poison application is too expensive and clunky, and then you can't do anything to capitalize on it.
Yeah, good suggestions. Good suggestions. All right, so
Hey,
next to my,
I,
what were you saying?
yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just scrolling through right now trying to see if there's anything left.
Okay, next to my list of stuff that I don't know how to make good, I had escalation on there, because escalation is just,
I think it's fine.
dude, this spell's entire identity is just, I have minigun. Why would I play this? Because
Yeah,
setting up a situation where escalation does more damage than your typical 2 costs, that is significantly easier to hit, is just like
it does have the benefit of being like obscenely plus.
yeah, it is obscenely plus. I will say that, but
Like you can K-wave escalation vivisection.
well, yeah, but I mean, there's other you could probably
You're right.
Can you
You're
just
right.
K-wave into vivisection, or can you not?
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't.
It's barely untrue.
But either way, like, aren't there more viable setups in the vivisection anyway?
Sure are.
So that's the thing. It's like, but I just feel like any situation, like any deck where I'm playing escalation, I can just play minigun instead.
Yeah.
And that just really hurts the spell from making a difference. Is the fact that it just is just worse than minigun. Pretty much.
That might be because minigun's stupid, but
I mean, minigun's
not in a bad way.
It is great, but like even then, like let's say you're doing a combo, right, and you're close range. Escalation decreases in damage. Minigun does not.
It's not even gonna hit.
Yeah, like you're gonna hit 2 escalations. It's gonna be 2 mana, 4 damage. So the mana ratio at close range is atrocious. And then
The
setting
frame
up the
data
mana
on it,
ratio
like-
to be good, like where it's hitting for more than 8 at longer distances is incredibly hard.
Why is it so hard to combo into escalation as well?
So yeah, and then not to mention that like you can also very easily hit step out of escalation, and then you can dodge walk through it, so you don't actually get any control value off of casting it.
Yep.
So it's just this was one of my I don't know spells because it's like The last time this spell saw relevant play was when Root had an increased timer, and it
Yeah.
also locked you in stun. So if you
Oh,
shielded this crap, you're cooked.
let's see what else.
And it got that's when I played it, but ever since the Root changes and then the escalation changes, it just really hasn't been doing well.
Crack roots. What do you think of crack roots?
I stopped caring.
It's root. It's not. It's not something that's on your radar because you know people are gonna complain and it'll never be good.
Yeah, it's just this is just one of the spells. You have to throw in the towel. Like if you want to make crack roots being good is something that people don't want in the game. Um, and I'm okay with that.
That's fair.
So
I had two more spells off the top of my head. I wanted to mention cold medicine. It might be the memeiest spell that's ever been in this game.
why does it heal them?
Like,
Why
just
does it heal
remove
them?
the healing. Like, if I'm being, just make it a zero. Just make it 0 mana, 1 frost.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like
Like, it's not doing hit
just
stun.
remove the
Like,
healing.
it doesn't need to do that to them.
Yeah, like just remove the healing. That's
It's
literally
like
it.
it's like I get that's the identity, that's the purpose, but it's so
Make it heal
pointless.
me. Make me
Yes,
gain
yes,
2
yeah,
HP,
real.
but not them,
And
right?
then the other one was what was it? Study.
Oh, study.
Yeah, I want to know what you think of that because I know you've used it in face roll a lot, and I've used it in my Lux Cannon deck. It feels kind of degenerate.
It's degenerate, but I don't think it's like broken.
I don't know if it's egregious,
Cause like
but it's degenerate.
obviously like you will get punished for casting study against someone that's like ready for it. Obviously, because the time is reduced, you can get away with it a bit more, but it is still a very relevant weakness for it. Where if you cannot set up a situation where you can safely cast it, or you can apply pressure beforehand to safely cast it, you will get punished usually. Um,
Yeah, you're right.
so I think that's okay. And then it's not like you gain 6 mana like with Swallow Spare. You just get a free spell.
Yes, that is very fair.
So I think the spell now is actually like worth playing, in some strategies, and I think that's a good thing.
You think it's in a good spot?
Yeah.
I think it's in a pretty fair spot right now too. I just was curious on your opinions.
All right. The next spell we need a Flurry. Where is
I've
it?
considered so many times, tried so hard to make that thing work, and it doesn't.
You hit Flurry from point blank range to get max damage,
It does what, 6?
and you get nothing. The only
It
way to do anything with this spell is to set up a situation where there's a
four
tile
away
behind
break.
a broken
Yeah,
tile behind your opponent. Otherwise, this crap just does nothing.
it just doesn't exist. It's not real.
Yeah, this spell is just very difficult to make work because it's just like you can combo into it pretty easily, but you're never gonna get anything out of Flurry
And
without a broken tile setup.
you'll quote unquote combo into it, and it doesn't do anything because you won't get the actual setup into it.
So
I think, yeah, Flurry needs changed.
it's just this spell just
It needs support,
it's just
but
hard to
it
make
doesn't
work.
necessarily need changed.
So I don't know what he could do to keep the same idea, without like going too far. Like I feel like if it hit 4 away, up to 4 away, then it could be like crazy. But but
Yeah, yeah, that would be
then
kind of
that's too
wild.
much, right? So like you can't do that. It's like I don't know what he could do to buff it without making some stupid change that's gonna make it like over the top immediately. Um, but yeah, Flurry definitely is in my I don't know, but like buff it, but like I don't know what the heck you're gonna do to buff it, but like do something. And then I think my last one was backslash. I just
Yeah,
backslash
that I did want to bring that up too. I think it needs buffed, but so there was a really cool patch this one time where they made backslash go one less tile back, and that was it. And it was super cool. It had a lot of cool applications. You could use it more as boxing, and it still kept the identity of it. And then two people who never used the spell, never fought against it, went into the Discord and were like, well, actually, it lets you use triple barrel. And they begged for nerfs, so it got nerfed. Uh, just revert that. Just make it good again. It was cool.
Yeah, backslash currently it's just like there's no reason to play backslash. Like it just doesn't provide any unique advantage that would make me want to play it. Like you just can't really do much with it currently. You
Yeah.
know?
If you go to my YouTube channel, my most viewed video on it is a video of during that backslash buff of me playing Violet with it against you on your Gunner X. And it was so cool. It allowed for so much cool stuff. And then they just nerfed it without even actually playing it. I was so mad.
But yeah, this spell definitely needs to. They could just honestly just revert it. But if you're not gonna revert it, then like I don't know what you would do to make this spell a bit more attractive of a pick. But
Making
right
it go
now it's
less
just
one back or one less back, like that change. So you step back one tile and then it reaches 4 forward from that is so cool. It was so sick. And then they killed it. I would so want that back. Yeah, that's a change I'd ask for.
all right. But I think that's everything I had on my list. I'm just going to go
I got
over
nothing else.
one more spell because I have heard some talk about it, but I do want to hear your thoughts on it. So I've heard some talk about Dim Sword getting extra range
In
to go
what
to
manner?
5 away.
I guess. I don't care. I think it's fine as is. I don't think it needs 5 away.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I don't think people know. You know how
Do
active?
they not realize the frame date on that
I
move?
don't think people know what Dim Sword frame data
You,
looks
you know,
like.
they never had to fight Shoal using it. That's why.
Like Dim
They never
Sword, that
fought
crap is
Shoal in his Dim Sword
active
era.
for so long. Like, I actually want to check.
It's a lot.
It's active for a while, dude. Like Dim Sword frame data is actually really good.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it's like it's way longer. Like you'd tell someone how long it is, and they'd be like, "No, you're joking. There's no way."
It's like it is long, dude. Like Dim Sword frame data is like actually crazy. Let me check. I just opened up the game.
I
Dimension
want to say
Sword.
it's 12 frames.
It's active for 12 frames.
There's no way.
You can walk into that crap very easily after it's
No,
already been cast.
it's literally 12 frames. Like that's 12 active frames of it just sitting there. It does what, 7 damage?
So like I don't really know if you should be able to do that at 5 away. And then another thing that I was thinking of is that if you have 5 away Dim Sword, then you can do bomb Dim Sword from back column and it's
In a
safe.
safe position. Oh no! Oh, that's vile.
So you can set up like back column bombs and then
Wait,
Dim Sword from second column
yeah.
on your side and it's safe.
No, because I think Dim Sword, since bombs are structures and they're not limited to one side of the field, I think it does include your side.
Does it?
Yeah,
Hold on, I'm gonna like spam it right quick and check.
I'm like pretty sure it does.
Let me check.
Um,
Save.
Because I know Magna Flare it includes your side.
No, maybe Dim Sword diff. But maybe it does. Let me see.
Yeah, because that's why it's gambling.
No, I don't think it does. I think it's only oh wait, no, that was still their side. I was just standing in the front.
Maybe you got really, really lucky.
I don't know. I'm at like trial 8 right now.
Okay, hold
It's
up
still in
now.
on my side.
Hold up now. Let me break out the training.
My side, dude.
You just got lucky. Trust.
I've done it at least 15 times now. Yeah, that is definitely not going to my side ever. So one of the things that discourages right now is if you do this to like obviously when you throw bombs and you want them to stay there, you set it up in the back column so that you can so that your opponent can't really do much about it. But 5-away Dim Sword,
removes the risk factor from you using dim sword on a back column bomb, so that now you can dim sword back column bombs, and it's just RNG as to whether or not you're gonna freaking avoid that.
Oh, but Magna Flare goes anywhere. I see how it is.
But no, dim sword's only their side, so you'd be that would make that safe, and that's one thing. That's like one of my concerns is like, I don't know if you
Yeah,
want
no
an
one wants to
RNG
deal with
thing like
that.
that to be like no downside, and then also it just doesn't need to be 5 away, in my opinion. Like it's
No,
it's
the move is fine. As
hit
is,
scan
like,
active 12 frames and then it's 5 away. Like bro, no.
yeah, it's the move is fine.
All right, but I think
Yeah, that's good for me.
I think that's it. So I think we covered everything. We went over all the characters. Um, we went over all the spells that probably should get changes this patch. Hopefully, these are obviously just suggestions, because we're not the developer. All we can do is just voice
I'm
our
the
thoughts.
developer. These are all going to happen in the new patch. It's coming out tomorrow.
But
Be prepared.
yeah, that's it. Just getting our thoughts out there. But yeah, thanks for joining me in this video. I always like to just have a second opinion around, because obviously I have my thoughts,
Oh,
but
I'm
just
always
having
down.
a second voice to provide more insight is always nice.
I'm always down. I love talking about this game, so.
Yep, me too. I like talking about this game.
Well, GG's gamer, nice talking.
Yep. All right, I'm ending the video.